This is ANN News Brief.
Mauritius is dealing with a heavy oil spill, the cleanup of which has attracted thousands of volunteers. The Japanese freighter struck a coral reef on the southeast coast of Mauritius late last month as was still leaking oil last week. This has raised fears of a major ecological crisis. Volunteers have cleared dead eels from all the waters on Tuesday as they tried to clean up damage to the Indian Ocean island's most pristine beaches after an estimated 1,000 tons of oil were spewed into the waters. Activists say dead eels were floating in the water and dead starfish washed in the sticky black liquid. Crabs and seabirds are also dying. Prime Minister Pravin Jugnauth also said on Monday the ship is still holding at least 2,000 tons of oil and is expected to eventually break up. One North warns that the country must brace up for the worst. Mauritian government has declared a state of emergency and is working with former colonial ruler France to try to remove the oil. Rwandans are reacting to the idea of home-based care for COVID-19 patients who presently who have mild symptoms. The general public has expressed mixed reactions about the idea. 5 months from the time the first COVID-19 case was confirmed in Rwanda, positive cases have risen above 2,000, with more than 750 active cases in 10 treatment facilities across the country. 10 persons are reported to have succumbed to the deadly virus. There is a concern that new infections might increase overnight to overwhelm the national treatment capacity. The government said it would consider home-based care for patients with mild symptoms.
Basing on the lifestyle of Rwandans, this is something they can cope with very well because of the way we have well responded to COVID-19 guidelines. The government would only need to invest in mass sensitization of prevention guidelines, home care for patients with COVID-19, and management of their contacts. I'm sure we can manage.
Community health workers say home-based care for patients with mild symptoms is attainable. Director General of Rwanda Biomedical Center, Dr. Sabin Unzeminani, said the government is set to sensitize the general public to the idea of home care for COVID-19 patients. Experts believe using community health volunteers in COVID-19 management will go a long way in ensuring the country defeats the pandemic as soon as possible. We will be right back.
We are on the road every day, canvassing throughout Africa for news you really need. We follow this story everywhere, from every corner of Nigeria to the wide African expanse. We bring you what's making headlines. We connect you with news you can use. ANN, African News Network, in a truly African spirit.
Polls opened in Egypt on Tuesday for a 2-day election to choose members of a newly created second chamber of parliament, with restrictive measures in place to curb a resurgence of coronavirus infections. The Council of Senators will be an advisory body without legislative powers. It will include 200 publicly elected members and 100 appointed by the president. Nearly 63 million of Egypt's population of more than 100 million are eligible to vote. Polling stations are open till 9 p.m. local time. That is ANN News Brief at 1. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I am Olajumoke Olatuji.